Yeah. They point fingers like their hands clean. Funny thing about judgment, it always say more about the judge. Everybody got opinions, everybody got a case. Quick to throw dirt while they smiling in your face. Judge me by the scars, not the battles that I won. Whole world throwing stones like they never did none. Everybody got opinions, everybody got a role. Trying to play God while they losing their soul. Talking from a throne, made of ego and fear. But the loudest people judging got the darkest mirror. But mama said, baby, watch the wolves in disguise. Some people wear halos just to hide they lies. Seen them praise in the daylight, snake in the night, trying to dim another candle cause they scared of your light. They judge the way you walk, judge the way you speak, judge the way you heal when your spirit feel weak. Judge the clothes, judge the hair, judge the pain you conceal. Whole time they avoiding what they really feel. I done seen rich souls living broke inside, and broke souls somehow still glowing with pride. So who are you to measure what another one worth? We all trying to survive this pressure on earth. Yeah. Everybody got opinions, everybody got a case. Quick to throw dirt while they smiling in your face. Judge me by the scars, not the battles that I won. Whole world throwing stones like they never did none. Everybody got opinions, everybody got a role. Trying to play God while they losing their soul. Talking from a throne, made of ego and fear. But the loudest people judging got the darkest mirror. See, judgment come easy when compassion don't live. People weaponize pain, they ain't willing to forgive. Projecting their wounds every chance that they get. Trying to make you wear shame that ain't even your fit. Old school beat knocking like truth at the door. Can't preach love if your heart's still keeping score. Everybody flawed, everybody got stains. Different kind of trauma, same kind of pain. So I move with grace now, less anger, more sight. Cause bitterness can turn a good soul cold overnight. And I refuse to let the world make me hard, just because some people confuse cruelty for God. Look, observation ain't judgment, wisdom ain't hate. But some people build their whole identity on making others feel small. That ain't power, that's emptiness with a microphone. Everybody got a everybody got a everybody got opinions, everybody got a mask. Judging other people while avoiding they past. Life got a way of spinning lessons back around. Same fingers pointing up be the ones pointing down. So before you speak on somebody's soul in the night, make sure your own reflection's sitting right. Cause karma don't sleep, and the truth gonna arrive. Can't judge another human while you still learning life. Yeah.
Steps off, baby. This ain't just a vibe, it's a sanctuary. You just walked into the Love Palace. Welcome to a daily dose of D. Wrap yourself in satin, truth. This love ain't rushed, it's velvet smooth. Silk on your spirit, rose in your mouth. Let me show you what healing's really about. Ooh, she don't play with pleasure, nah. Only pours it where it's earned. Let it burn slow. A daily dose of D. Let the love run deep and free. One touch and you'll believe. She's the calm, she's the heat, she's the peace you need. Here in the Love Palace, where even broken ships sail smooth. Anchor down, baby, daily dose of D. Your prescription to feel seen. No refills, just show up and receive. Let your ships drift into healing seas. We don't chase waves, we ride them. She don't beg, she just glows.
Some people judge the way you walk before they ever ask, where have you been? Some people judge your smile without knowing what pain sits behind it. You see, we live in a world where people can look at a 10-second clip and think they know your whole life story. But judgment is heavy. Heavy on the person giving it, heavy on the person receiving it. Sometimes we judge because we are hurt. Excuse me. Sometimes we judge because we are scared. And sometimes we judge because we were judged first. But Love Palace family, what if healing starts the moment we stop trying to place people in boxes? What if understanding someone feels better than assuming them? What if grace could change the way we see each other and ourselves? Tonight, I'm talking about being judgmental. Not to shame anybody, not to point fingers, but to hold up the mirror and grow together. Welcome to Daily Dose of D.
And I don't wanna be alone. And I don't wanna be alone.
Grand rising, grand afternoon, or grand evening, depending on what time of day you are watching Daily Dose of D. I am back, everybody. I hope everybody had a nice weekend, a nice holiday, and all that. You hear I barely have a voice. Did a lot of screaming at the graduation, celebrating my grandson's birthday and just having a good time with family. So I'm here at Daily Dose of D because I said I was coming back today, right? So my voice is a little scratchy. It's because I had a good time and I'm still having a good time here. So I came here today to talk to y'all because I said that I was coming back today. So with that, today being Tuesday, we're going to call this Tell the Truth Tuesday because we're going to tell the truth today. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our word of the day. And like I said, my voice is in and out, so I'll be grabbing my water. Okay, but I feel fine. I'm just, hey, had a great time. So on this Tell the Truth Tuesday, the word of the day is judgment, the ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions, an opinion or conclusion that is formed. And then it is a decision of a court of law or a judge. We're going to focus on the second definition, an opinion or conclusion that is formed. And let's not forget our quote of the day today on Tell the Truth Tuesday. Judgment starts, excuse me, judgment separates understanding, connects, and judge less and love more. So judgment separates, understanding connects, judge less and love more. Let me go ahead and get that sip of water before I get started. Like I said today, we are talking about judgment. Our title is You Don't Know Their Story, a conversation about judgment. So, once again, I want to welcome everybody to the Love Palace, to Daily Dose of D. Welcome back to another beautiful episode that I'm having. As if you're new here, I am your host, Goddess Dia Love, And if you are not new here, thank you for still sticking with me and supporting me. I appreciate you. We are on episode 263, everybody. Yes, we are. We're on episode 263 and continuing to go on. So, before we get started, let's take a collective breath together right now. Let's go ahead and breathe in. You know, holistic royalty, my kiddo's been teaching us, okay? Go ahead and breathe through the nose, close to home for every single one of us. hmm We are looking right into the mirror and talking about judgment. Excuse me. So, where does this heavy word even come from? Right? Because this is a very heavy word. Well, Love Palace family, you already know I like to break down the word in a simple way. So here we go. The word judgment comes from the Latin word judicare, which means to decide, to form an opinion. So the root of the word is connected to making decisions and evaluating situations. So way back in the day, it literally meant to declare what is right. It's about finding truth and balance. Everyday usage of judgment usually means forming an opinion about somebody or something. But when we think how we use the word today in our lives, when we walk into a room or when you scrolling online, judging doesn't feel like a court of law anymore. Actually, today, it usually means we are looking at someone else and secretly deciding if they're doing right in their life or wrong, or if they fit in a little box of things of how things should be. Now, here's the thing, Love Palace family. Judgment isn't always bad. We use judgment every single day. You judge whether your food tastes good or smells good. You judge whether somebody is safe to be around. You judge whether you should trust a situation. That type of judgment is a protection for yourself. But being judgmental is totally different. That's when we create harsh opinions about people without understanding their full story. For example, somebody sees a woman posting pictures online and immediately calls her attention seeking. But they don't know how she spent years hiding behind the struggle and struggled with confidence. Another person sees a man quiet at a family gathering and thinks he's just being rude. But in reality, he's struggling with anxiety. So sometimes we think we know people based on appearance, money, relationship status, social media, or even their mistakes. But people are deeper than what we see on the surface. So, family, we have to take a quick pause right here. Remember this: healing starts with awareness. And sometimes the same grace we want from others, we need to learn to give ourselves. So, if this conversation is touching your spirit right now, make sure you like, comment, and share with somebody who needs this reminder tonight. And if you're looking for insight and clarity and deeper healing, tap in with me, Goddess D in Love, here at the Love Palace at Daily Dose of D. Okay? So, want you to take some time, take a sip of water. I know I am, and I'll be right with you right after these messages.
Thanks for the question, Dr. Dre. Judgment. Judgment is when you take your own ideals and standards and thoughts and you impose them on another person. So when you're being told something, when you're hearing something, when you're watching a person behave and you essentially judge it, you take your standard and impose it on that person. So in relationships, very often, what can happen is we start to judge people based on what we think they should be doing or saying or how we think they should be acting. And it makes it difficult for that person to be able to be their authentic self, to be comfortable as themselves. They might try to navigate between those judgments. What can often happen is, in reality, we are judging ourselves. We are being very harsh on ourselves. We are being critical of ourselves, and that makes it hard for us to open up, to communicate our thoughts and feelings. And so in the previous video where I was talking about a no judgment zone, often it's because one of the partners has these thoughts, these feelings, these internal criticisms of their self, and it is hard now to express those thoughts to the other person, and we're not even sure how they'll react. But we will assume, based on our own failings, our own insecurities and self-doubts, that it's going to be negative or critical or even disruptive to the relationship. So we'll withhold, we won't share or explain. And one of the things that I try to get people to do is get out of your head, actually open up and be vulnerable to your partner so that they can share their thoughts and feelings. And that if you evoke the no judgment zone on those thoughts, you're basically telling them, we don't have to go down the path of setting standards on this. I just want to share this with you. I just need to get this out of my head so that we can both be on the same page. So judgment, man, it's
COC. Collaboration over competition.
I tried to tell you. I tried, but it's cool, you know. As I sit back in my cloud car and I ride around and hover over in different places on social media, to my surprise, people are still drinking the Kool-Aid. No harm, no foul, no judgment zone here. I want my people to win every time. So if you catch me floating by, just know I'm rooting for you. Even from up here. Always. Like cloud car and gear, let's see what they're drinking today. Unbelievable. They're sipping lies like it's candy water. Different platforms, same cup. If I could get just one of them to look up. Maybe they taste what they're swallowing. Keep moving. There's still time. Hold tight, folks. I'm not done yet. What is going on over here? Let me pull up for a better view. What's going on down there? Blended girl, keep driving. Don't you touch down anywhere. Keep driving.
Let's see where this takes us.
D, don't touch down no place. Don't touch down. We're in the Zen zone. Remember the meditation today. Don't you dare touch down. Alicia, don't touch down.
Come on, Kels. There's a cool music studio down. I gotta go. I'm dragging Mouthpiece with me.
Thumbnail, yeah. Big blessings on blessings, queen. Man. You already know. Okay. Hey, yeah.
People make the vision clear. Hands linked strong, we can't be denied. Healing in the circle, ancestors by our side. Stand together, we gon' rise forever. COC, we shine through it.
Welcome back, beautiful people. Welcome back. Yes, COC is back in full effect. I heard Alicia Dion been getting ready to do a little something as well, y'all. So make sure you tune in to Blended Healing every morning at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She has her inspiration for the morning, and when I tell you it's delightful, get you to thinking. That message is good to get you going for today. You have Alicia Dion. Make sure you're hitting the notification on all the COC. Alicia Dion, Holistic Royalty by Kels, and Big Mouthpiece as well. We are back in full effect, okay? So now let's get back into this conversation about being judgmental, y'all. Okay? Because I'm being real honest with you tonight, okay? Being real honest with you tonight. Because growth happens when we stop pretending we have it all figured out. Now, have you ever heard of value judgment? Well, let me break this down for you. This brings us to what the psychologists call val- value judgments. This is when we take our own personal beliefs, our own upbringing, and our own taste, and we slap them into someone else's choices, just like that. It's like looking at a sister or brother in the Love Palace family, and we decide to take a completely different path in their relationship or their career, and instantly deciding that their path is bad just because it's not the path we chose for ourselves. Mhm. This is a value judgment. A value judgment is when we decide if we decide if something is good, bad, right, wrong, is it worthy, unworthy, based on a person's personal beliefs and experience. Now, this happens all the time, family. Some people judge parents, for example, for how they raise their kids. Some people judge people for staying in a relationship too long, and other people judge somebody for leaving too quickly. One person may say, if I were them, I would never forgive cheating. Another person might say, family deserve second chances. Both people are making value judgments based on what they believe. The problem comes when we start believing our life experience is the only correct experience. Let me say that again for you. The problem starts occurring when we start believing our life experience is the only correct experience. Love Palace family, everybody was raised differently. Everybody survived differently. And everybody carries different trauma, fears, and lessons. And sometimes we judge people for choices we have never personally had to make. That's why empathy matters. So, do you understand value judgments now? So, why do people even judge others? You know, I'll be asking myself that. Why do we judge others? I even been guilty of that. Well, our brain is so quick to judge others. Usually it comes down to a mix of survival instinct, low self esteem, and even hidden envy, unfortunately. Our brains are hardwired to categorize things quickly to keep us safe. Let me take a sip of water. Yes, excuse me. Our brains categorize things, are wired to categorize things to help us be safe in the world that we live today. We use judgment as a shield. When we feel insecure about our own life, pointing out someone else's flaws makes us feel better and safer, a little more in control too. And if I'm secretly jealous of your freedom, It's much more easy for me to judge your lifestyle than to admit to myself that I feel stuck in my own. Let me repeat that again. And I'm going to direct it to me so you can direct it to yourself. If I am secretly jealous of your freedom, it makes it easier for me to judge your lifestyle than to admit to myself that I feel stuck in my own. hmm Yes. A lot of people judge because it makes them feel safer or better about themselves. Sometimes people point out flaws in others because they are uncomfortable facing their own flaws. A person struggling with insecurity may constantly criticize others' appearances. A happy person, a person unhappy, I should say, in life may judge somebody chasing their dreams. Somebody who is always controlled was always controlled growing up, may harshly judge people who live freely. Judgment becomes a safe place. It becomes a shield of protecting who they are. And social media has made this worse, right? People scroll all day comparing lifestyle, bodies, relationships, and even success. Everybody has opinions about everybody. Somebody buys a new car and people say they're showing off. Oh, they just showing off. Someone stays private and then you're considered being sneaky. Somebody speaks up and people call them dramatic. Somebody stays quiet and people say they are weak. No matter what you do, somebody will always have something to say. Always. And that's why you cannot build your life based on outside opinion. Let me say that again for you. Because everybody always has something to say. That is why you cannot build your life based on outside opinion. Family, if you ever felt misunderstood, judged, picked apart by people who never even understood or asked your story, just know you're not alone. Here at the Love Palace is a place for growth, healing, and real conversation. And sometimes the strongest thing that you can do is keep being yourself in a world trying to label you. So I'm going to take a quick break again. And when we return, we're going to finish this conversation about being judgmental right after these messages.
Hey y'all, let me tell you something real quick. Stop being so quick to judge others when they don't come from the same culture or lifestyle as you do. When I say judge, I mean like you over here analyzing how they look, or they don't look the part, or how they talk, or just the little petty stuff. Like, grow up. Not everyone's gonna come from the same background as you. Not everyone can hide their struggles like you do. So what makes you better than them? At the end of the day, you just never know who could turn into a blessing.
Welcome to the the new digs. This is our fresh home for holistic royalty, and I cannot wait to show you around. Come on in. Right here is the apothecary wall, rows of handcrafted oils, elixirs, and tonics. Every bottle is blended in-house, labeled in gold, and ready for your ritual. Slide over to each item is crafted to nurture you from the inside out. Whether you're here for a cup of comfort, a moment on the mat, or a jar of something indulgent, it's all about honoring yourself. Thanks for walking through with me. Can't wait to see you soon. Plants on the altar, smoke in the air. She been healing while she...
Today, I'm creating my rheumatoid relief tincture, a companion product for pain and inflammation support, especially for joints, knees, and knuckles. This blend includes ginger, foxwellia, devil's claw, nettle leaf, ashwagandha, and glycerin. After the ingredients are infused, I have strained the mixture so I'm left with the herbal extract. Then I combine it with glycerin and gently blend it together. After that, I pour the finished tincture into 2-ounce dark green bottles, cap them, and give each one other tinctures with my special touch are available at TMOCessentials.com. Shop today.
I use it. I fill the dropper all the way up, then let the whole thing drop under my tongue. I do this first thing in the morning and again at night. It's that simple. If you like a cozy cup instead, scoop a teaspoon of the loose blend into a steeper, drop it into hot water, and let it brew for about 10 to 15 minutes.
Side in the chest, meditation in emotion. She don't overstep. If her body say yes, she don't second guess everything around her.
Welcome back, Love Palace family. Make sure you tap into Holistic Royalty by Kels. See, I'm still trying to sing it with my voice jacked up. But anyway, she has some tinctures out there that can really help you with the teas, which I personally, the one that is being advertised, I take that and it has been helping me tremendously. We gave some to the family while they was out here. They've been healing as well. These are all natural products that can be found at www.shamakaessentials.com. If you don't have the internet or you're not able to go to the website, you can also reach her at holisticroyalty@gmail.com and Holistic Royalty by Kels at TikTok and Instagram. Okay. So let's continue to grow in this conversation because we are helping each other. You feel me? We're growing together, and this is all about reflection and not perfection. So there is actually a powerful duality, because you know how I like to talk about duality, to judgment, because it can be constructive or destructive. Bars. Destructive judgment is like an acid. It tears down relationships. It creates division in your families and breeds resentment. But constructive judgment, which is really just discernment, it helps build healthy boundaries, healthy connections. It's you using your wisdom to say, I love this person, but their energy is not safe for my peace right now. This isn't coming from a place of malice. It's coming from a place of self-protection. The duality when it comes to judgment, some judgment can help us grow, and some judgment can destroy confidence and connection. Constructive judgment comes from care, wisdom, and love. For example, a friend might say, I love you, but I notice you keep going back to a situation that hurts you. That might sting a little bit, but it comes from concern, honesty, and love. A mentor, they may tell you you have talent, but your attitude is blocking your growth. That feedback can help you transform your life. It's feedback out of love and concern. Now, constructive judgment, it focuses more on behavior and growth. Destructive judgment attacks identity and worth. See the difference? The sound This sounds like You'll never change. This is destructive judgment. You'll never change. You're a terrible mother. You always act rude. Mhm. You're weak. You'll never succeed. Constructive judgment helps heal. Destructive judgment shames people. One builds people up, the other tears people down. And Love Palace family, before speaking about somebody, ask yourself this: may I offer? Am I trying to help them or hurt them? Mhm. Before you speak about somebody, ask yourself, is this to help them or is it to hurt them? Being judged hurts. It does. Especially when people misunderstand your intentions, your growth, and even your heart. Sometimes family judge your healing journey because they are used to the old version of you. And sometimes friends judge your boundaries because they benefit from you having not having any. Strangers judge your appearance. You're judged by the way you're fighting your battles because they're dealing with things themselves. You cannot spend your whole life trying to explain yourself to people committed that's not committed to understanding you. If you wanted to stop the destructive cycle of judging others or overcoming the pain of being judged, we have to shift our focus completely inward. Let me say that again. Spirit says, say that again. If you want to stop the destructive cycling of judging others or overcoming the pain of being judged, we have to shift our focus completely inward to ourselves. Every single time a judgment pops in your head about someone else, it's actually a golden ticket to self awareness. It is your soul waving that red flag saying, hey, look over here. If you judge someone for resting, maybe you are actually exhausted yourself and mad at yourself for not taking a break. Your judgments are a roadmap to your unhealed wounds. Your judgments are a roadmap to your unhealed wounds. Now, that does not mean ignore accountability. Let's be clear. Sometimes criticism can teach us something important, but not every opinion deserves access to your not every opinion deserves access to your spirit. Mm-mm. A real life example of this is somebody starting a business. One person may say, I'm so proud of you. And another might laugh or turn their nose up and say, that will never work. If you listen to every negative voice, you will never move forward. People judge. You know, in that book, the Bible, there's a story about a man named Noah, right? Noah was building the ark before the rain came, right? Everybody didn't see his vision. But sometimes visions look crazy to people who cannot see what you see yet. Let me say that again to you. Sometimes visions look crazy or off or weird to people who cannot see what you see. Mhm. Family, if you're enjoying this conversation, make sure you stay connected with Daily Dose of D here at the Love Palace because these conversations are not about being perfect. They're not about perfection. They're about becoming more self aware, more healed, and more connected with ourselves and each other. So I'm going to take another break. And when we come back, we're going to finish this conversation.
Because when we're thinking, we assign value judgments to our thoughts. So we think in terms of good and bad. And I think that's unhelpful. I think people should think in terms of constructive and what's destructive. Because constructive and destructive, I don't think are value judgments. You know, so you can acknowledge something might be destructive, maybe like smoking. Saying maybe smoking is destructive is a lot easier than saying, I'm a bad person because I smoke. You know, that is not going to allow you to engage with the problem in a sufficient way.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, family. Now, if you're enjoying how I give this information out to you, you know what? I'm your insight coach for you. If you want a little bit of personal coaching to find out who you truly are, to become your higher version of yourself, I am your insight coach, your clarity activator, like I like to call myself, to help you have clarity on who you need to be, not to give you the answers, but for you to find it yourself. You can hit me up on Instagram at the Love Palace, the LOVE Palace, or at TikTok at the LUV Palace as well. Also, there is the Love Palace at gmail.com, and we can go ahead and get you activated so you can get some insight for yourself, okay? So that information will be dropped in the chat. Go ahead and hit your insight coach up for some insight to becoming your higher self. Because remember, everybody has a superpower. You just have to look inside and find yours. All right, now we're back to this conversation, and we're at the heart of this conversation. We're about to wrap all this up, okay? So, if you have a problem with being judgmental, and I know I'm speaking from personal experience because I used to be very judgmental. I didn't really realize it until I really started looking at things. So let me give you some suggestions and offer some things to help stop being judgmental that worked for me, and I'm offering to you. So the first step is learning how to pause before reacting. This is important. I have to pause because I'm a very fast-minded, fast-paced person. And I'm like, so I have to really take the pause, be quiet, stop and think about it before reacting. Instead of immediately saying, why would you do that? Try asking, what might they be going through? Curiosity creates compassion. Another way is by becoming honest about your own flaws. When you truly face yourself, you become softer toward others. A person who understands struggle usually becomes less judgmental. Somebody who understands heartbreak becomes gentler with people making emotional decisions. And a person who understands failure becomes less harsh toward people who are still learning. Also, may I offer, stop comparing lives. Comparison creates unnecessary judgment. Let me say that again to you, to everybody, so y'all can hear it. Stop comparing ourselves to others, because comparison creates unnecessary judgment. Everybody's timing is different. Everybody's healing process is different. And everybody's journey in life is different. Believe it or not, judgment can actually teach us about ourselves. Mhm. Sometimes the things we harshly judge in others reveals unresolved issues within us. So, for example, if somebody's confidence annoys you, somebody is confident, they don't care of how they appear to people, and that annoys you. Maybe you are struggling with your own confidence, or maybe you have issues within yourself. If you can judge a person on how they look, how they dress, check with yourself. If somebody's freedom, their way of thinking, and their free mind triggers you, maybe you feel trapped in your own life. Judgment can become the mirror. That's why self awareness really matters. Instead of asking, why are they like that? Ask, why does this bother me so much? I had to do it. I still do it. Growth starts when we stop running from that self reflection. When you stop fearing what other people think of you, something miraculous happens. You build deeper, more authentic connection. Let me say that again. When you stop fearing what other people think about you, miraculously, something happens. You start having deeper, authentic connection. You stop performing, you drop the mask, and then allow yourself to truly be who you are. When you step out of the fear of judgment, you give everyone else the place in your own palace permission to do the same thing. One of the saddest things is when people hide their true self because they fear of being judged. People hide their dreams. They hide their pain. They hide their personalities, and they hide their truth. And we live hiding. We struggle to build real connection. The truth is, vulnerability creates connection. When people feel safe enough to be honest, relationships become deeper, friendships become healthier, and families become stronger. You stop trying to impress people and start trying to genuinely connect with them. And let's be honest, the people men in your life will not require you to shrink yourself to fit their comfort. Let me say that again for you. The people that are meant to be in your life right now will not require you to shrink yourself to fit their comfort. Okay, Love Palace family. My voice seems like it's about to give out on me, but I want to give you these encouraging words today before we close out, you know how I do here at Daily Dose of D, right? And if you're new here, I hope you enjoy this part of the show as well. Everybody wants understanding until it's time to understand somebody else. Everybody wants grace until somebody makes a mistake they personally would not make. But healing people heal people. Let me say that again. But healing people heal people. And wounded people sometimes wound with their words. Family, we have to learn the difference between discernment and cruelty. You can protect your peace without destroying somebody else's spirit. You could go ahead and disagree with somebody without disrespecting them. You can hold people accountable without humiliating them. The next time you feel tempted to judge somebody, remember this. You don't know the nights they cried alone. You don't know the battles they survived silently. You don't know what they had to overcome just to get up and smile today. And if you are the one being judged tonight, hear me clearly. Don't let opinions become prisons. Don't let circumstances silence your purpose. And don't let misunderstanding stop your growth. People will judge your healing because it reminds them they haven't healed yet. People will judge your confidence because they forgot how powerful they are. And people will judge your light because they are still fighting their darkness. But you know what you're going to do? Keep growing anyway. Keep loving anyway. And keep becoming anyway. Because everybody has a superpower. And you just have to look inside and find yours.
I got a battery city in a no.
All right, Love Palace family. I want to thank everybody for the continued love and support. I wanted to bring you a message today. Now, I have some things going on tomorrow, so my hopes are to come and give you Daily Dose of D. But if I don't, I'll be back on Thursday. In the meantime, if I don't come tomorrow night, make sure you tap into Blended Healing Realms at a new channel that is being dropped because the Ancestors Gateway to the Ancestors has its own personal channel now. I'm so excited about that. So we're trying to get those subscribers up over there. You're going to go over there and tap into Ancestors Gateway to the Ancestors tomorrow at 7 p.m. if I don't get to come and remind you tomorrow, okay? Thank you for coming to the Love Palace. Peace and love to everybody. Shout out to the replay game. I appreciate you all. So, I want to leave you with this message today. This powerful truth today, family. Your life is too sacred, and your purpose is too big to be lived by the rules of somebody else's unhealed mind. So don't let those quiet whispers or critics hold you back from stepping into your full, brilliant power. Rise above the noise. Protect your peace and remember that love will always be the highest law. I want you to keep shining, keep loving, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace and love.
Feel something need me, remembers things. Hands no rhythm, my mind can't trace. Like I've been shaped by another place. There's a fire in me I didn't light. Still it burns through every night. Call it memory, call it truth, but it don't feel new. They don't knock, they just arrive in every breath that keeps me alive. I'm not walking alone. I feel them here in every doubt, in every tear. They left their footsteps in my soul. Now they echo through me. Now they echo through me.
You fear the judgment of others more than you feel the judgment of self? You fear the judgment of others more than you feel the judgment of yourself. So you'll sit within yourself, sleepless at night, in peril, because you won't give yourself the permission to make mistakes. You won't give yourself permission to step into your power. You won't acknowledge the God that lives within you. So you got to keep chasing that God that lives outside of you and wondering why your prayers ain't being answered, because you're supposed to be the one answering those prayers. All you need God to do is give you a little push, but you got to push yourself. You could ask the ancestors to support you. They're going to support you. They're going to show up. They're going to give you a push. They're going to open up some doors. There's some doors open. You ain't even on that hall yet. But you got to go through those peaks and the valleys. And a lot of times you got to go through it alone. And if you ain't never sat with yourself, well, then solitude, it's going to seem like hell. But you can go through that hell and get through that hell once you acknowledge the power that lives within you. We can't keep seeking out equity and degeneracy.
She don't just love, she heals and keep. Let go, let flow. Daily dose of tea in the land free. In the love palace, ship stuck even key. Yeah, we guide the tide. God is deep. Whispering back when your heart needs reminding. D is divine, D is daily, D is love. A daily dose.